This is a 2024 Toyota Land Cruiser 1958 edition in Meteor Shower color. Hey, it's Tim, Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk. During the week I've had this, I did some long road trip with it. I did a off-roading with it, adventure, and I did a towing. Well, it was really an adventure. Towing video would come out separately, a lot of details on that. But in this video, I want to kind of just tell you my 5 top things I like about it, 5 things I don't like about this 1958 edition of the Toyota Land Cruiser. So I like the look. Overall, I think it looks pretty cool. I've driven around town, got quite a few looks at it. I like that it's smaller. It's not so big like the prior generation that was just massive and it just rode nice, but it's just huge. This rides nice, but it's a smaller package. I just like the way it does. I like the way the look of the 1958 is with those headlights. I like, in this model, we do have the optional roof rack and optional rock rails. I think it really adds to the overall look of this. I like the boxy mirrors, the FJ Cruiser kind of throwback styling. I just think they did a really good job executing the look of this. Okay, number 2 on the list is gonna be right here. iForce Max. I know, V8, gotta have a V8, I get it. But in this case, I think this is really a great powertrain. It is a hybrid system, so you have a 2.4 liter turbocharged engine. That's a 4-cylinder, it's a 4-cylinder. That is mated to a 1.87 kilowatt hour battery, and you hear it kicking on, kicking off as the AC kicks on and off, but also the engine charges the battery as you go. There are some moments you can drive just EV mode if you're going downhill or you're just kind of going slow speeds. I'll show you this when I do some off-roading. It's kind of interesting. I kind of noticed this as I'm driving around, the engine's off. So it really is using a hybrid system. A lot of times it'll kick on and run the battery and the hybrid and the engine at the same time. In this case, I'm doing some low speed kind of just driving. You see I'm doing 4 or 5 miles an hour and I'm in completely EV mode. I didn't think it did this. So that's, hey, learn something new. All right, there you go. And like I said, 4-banger. Oh my gosh, 4-banger. I hear the comments all the time online. Guys, it's not 1990. This is not a weak 4-banger. This actually has 326 horsepower and 465 foot-pounds of torque. How does that compare to the V8? V8 had 381 horsepower, but 401 pound-feet of torque, and the torque hit later. This one's gonna feel faster, it's gonna feel smoother, and it's gonna be more fuel efficient. In the EPA estimate, I get 25 mile per gallon highway, 22 city and 23 combined. Guys, V8 can't do that. Not at all day long. And I've talked to many engine engineers about this, and they argue with me all the time that this 4-cylinder turbocharged, they say it's less complex than a V8. So there you go, more fighting words for you guys. Number 2 thing I like about this, and let's go around, open the door, or excuse me, number 3 thing. It's early this morning. It's a little early. Number 3 thing I want to talk about is gonna be right here. This has been a topic of conversation. We have a $60,000 Land Cruiser. This is the base model, $60,000. This is what you get. It's what the inside looks like, okay? But we have cloth seats. Man, I've heard a lot of comments from you guys. Oh my gosh, it's $60,000. I don't get a V8 and I don't get leather seats. That's ridiculous. Well, guys, I'm here to tell you. I've owned a lot of trucks. I've owned trucks with leather seats, owned trucks with cloth seats. I've driven trucks in the summer, in the winter. I would spend more money to buy a high-end luxury truck that had cloth seats, heated cloth seats at a bomb. They're awesome. In the summer, they don't get so hot that they burn your legs or burn your wife's legs with short shorts getting inside the vehicle. I don't have to worry about them, like I said, being so hot in the wintertime. They don't get freezing cold like leather does. In this case, there's nice temperature, and turn the heated button, and these things heat up quickly. So I like cloth seats, and I think these cloth seats are really comfortable. I had my friends on that long road trip when I played golf in South Dakota. Had 4 of us in here, and they all talked about how they liked the seats and how comfortable they were. So I will give up a little bit of the leather, of the coldness, the stiffness. Sometimes it's not as comfortable, and I would much rather have heated cloth seats. Okay, number 4 on my list is gonna be this right here. Some of the off-road capability, but downhill assist control. And I have the locking center diff and the rear diff, but I want to talk about downhill assist control. I'm gonna put some video on the screen where I was out in my friend's big ranch, and we're doing some downhill driving and uphill driving. Now, I play audio from this and talk to you about how the grinding noise, that crawl control, is just crazy and how you need to fix it. But here's the deal, they fixed it. You don't hear anything inside the cabin. I rolled down the windows, you don't hear any noise from crawl control. Super quiet, super convenient as far as a feature. And yeah, big fan of the improvement there. I think they made a big difference there. A lot of people didn't use crawl control before because it sounded like the vehicle was braking. That was really the brake actuators firing so quickly and being so loud, it turned people off. So capability, yeah. So number 4, overall, capability. I like the features. I like the rear differential, the center differential if we really get in trouble. The crawl control, I think this is a great job with that in this 1958 edition. I'm glad I have those features. Number 5 is gonna be back here. And I'm gonna talk to you about a couple things. First of all, I can pop this rear glass. I know people like the roll down windows of the 4Riders and stuff, and that works too, but this is also convenient as well. I'm 5'6", I can still reach in there and get things. So I like that aspect of it. I think it's not a lot of automakers are going with this lifted glass anymore. They're making all one piece. I like having 2 pieces. The other, talking about the rear, I like how much room there is back here. We had 4 sets of golf clubs. We could have fit 2 or 3 more sets of golf clubs back here. I do have some drink holders and some power back here, so if you want to have like a little camping setup, put some chairs out here, you can do that, right? I like that aspect of it. It's nice, wide, lots of room. I think it's going to work for a lot of people in overlanding situations or camping or just driving around town. I mean, it's groceries and such. I mean, look, I got a hitch in that cover there, and there's still a lot more room. Okay, now let's switch over to things that I don't like. Okay, the first thing I don't like about this Toyota Land Cruiser, it's gonna be right here. Remember I told you I had better fuel economy than the V8? Yeah, I did. Quite a bit better, and I like that. That's good. I like better fuel economy. However, I wasn't prepared for this. Premium unleaded fuel only. That surprises me. The Tacoma has a similar engine to this, doesn't need premium fuel. This one does, and I think that's more of a Lexus thing in luxury land than you're gonna do in a Toyota vehicle. So I was surprised by that. I was surprised. 18-gallon gas tank in here. So I got 22 miles per gallon driving up to South Dakota and back, and an 18-gallon gas tank. Well, I had to stop and put gas in it for a couple-hour trip, which really surprised me. I wanted to go further. Land Cruiser, I want to cruise the world. Small gas tank, premium fuel only. Those are things that I don't like at all. Moving around the back, let's talk about the second thing I don't like about this Toyota Land Cruiser. There's gonna be the whole towing situation going on here. It seems like towing with this is kind of an afterthought for whatever reason. You have to take off these 2-piece clamshell thing, and you get this really big cover blob thing that goes on top of here. But here's the deal. After that, you got the slot for your receiver, the tow hooks, but then here's your cabling down here next to the tailpipe. You gotta get down there to put your cables in. And then there's some funky stuff inside the cabin related to this that's just kind of weird. So you have trailer brake controller, as my friends at TFL found out. This is set to off from factory. What? Who turns their trailer brake controller off? Never heard of that. And the tow haul mode is buried back over here. It's not part of one of the drive modes, which I find weird. Why have a separate button? And then you adjust the settings for the trailer brake controller here, not there. Which that seems a lot more useful to use that screen than this tiny screen. So if I go down here to settings, I'll show you these little, see all these little icons? Those are tiny, they're hard to see. I don't know why I can't set that stuff up more over here. So that's the second thing that I didn't like about this, was the whole towing setup is just interesting. 6,000 pounds of max towing. I have 1,100 pounds of payload, so I should be able to tow reasonably well. And in that towing video, I'll share with you, it wasn't quite reasonably well, coming out later. Trust me, you want to watch that one. Okay, number 3 thing I don't like about this is it's just kind of funky that I don't have, not that this is interesting the way Toyota did the screen. You can't see it until I come right in front of it. But the drive modes, if I turn this dial to mode select, okay, I have Sport, Normal, and Eco. What? Why is there not an off-road version? Why don't I get an off-road version that, say, would turn off the parking sensors? And, you know, so many brands are doing off-road modes with graphics and things that look cool. Or you get like the Fords that do the Ranger Raptors and the Raptors with the Baja mode. Really cool, turns things off, really taps in that off-road power, changes the transmission shift points. I don't understand why this doesn't have an off-road mode. It seems to me like that's an obvious thing to add to a Land Cruiser. Get it set up for me. Or make me a custom mode. I can go do it myself. I don't have to go off-road and then turn my sensors off and then keep doing that stuff. You should have a separate switch for that. Seems like it's just a software issue. Pretty easy to solve. Okay, the last 2 things I don't like about this edition is, first of all, I don't like the small screen. It is just, it's really tiny. And I'm surprised they have more width here, and maybe a bigger size would fit in there better, but they only have this size and that big size you saw in the Tundra. So I like that it fits in nicely, but it seems like you're losing quite a bit of space here you could be using to make the screen a little bit bigger. Okay, and the last thing I don't like, let me show you when we're off-roading. Okay, about that front camera one more time. So I'm going that way. That way is death. So it would be nice to be able to see, to make sure I'm on the trail going down if I had a camera popping on. That'd be fantastic. I would like that, because that's a long way down, folks. Okay, it turns out they do have a multi-train monitor available on the higher trim level. Yeah, you can't get it on the lower trim 1958 base trim. That monitor shows you a front camera. It has some lines on the side to show you where the tires are going. It's great. Sometimes even do some geometry on those, depending on what setup it is, what Toyota vehicle there is. Show you what's your departure angle, your approach angle, that stuff going on. It's a great screen. I've used it in Tacoma. I've used it in different vehicles. I like it. You can't get it. You got to spend at least $5 grand more to move up to the Land Cruiser model to get it. That's the trim level. However, you lose the front grille, you lose some of the heritage stuff, you change the vehicle, not only to get that camera, but to change the look. I like this look. Why can't I get a camera package? Give me a package. I'll buy a technology package for this. Why do I have to give up things when I do the heritage look? That's not cool. Now, I will tell you, lastly, behind the wheel, it's smooth, it's fairly quiet. There is a little bit of wind noise comes in here, but not bad. Not as bad as you think. This is some of that wind noise. You know, just turn off the radio, it's not that bad. I'm surprised I don't hear much noise from the tires at all. But for this upright windshield, I expect some wind noise. I don't think this is that bad. I think other people would say it's terrible, and other people may agree with me. It's really kind of a debatable topic. I've had a lot of fun driving around. I would show you some more driving impressions, but I broke my clip from my GoPro this week. It'll be here tomorrow. This goes back today. That's how things work. So that's what I have for you this week with the 2024 Toyota Land Cruiser. For more chick videos over here, website down below is pickuptrucktalk.com. As always, thanks for watching. I will see you down the road.